It is once again that time of the year where thousands of students are returning or going to maybe to college for the first time, and they're going to take a chemistry class. This short video is just to go over with you what I would suggest that you do when you're ready to tackle college chem. Notice in the title here and the thumbnail, there's no easy or easily learned college chem. You're probably freaking out, even if you've taken high school chem, even if you've taken AP level or college level chem in high school. Chemistry in college is going to be tougher. It's going to be tougher because the pace is faster. You got a lot more material, and material you go into deeper, or you're expected at least to do that on your own. Let's go over this real quick. It's as simple as a four-letter word: plan. You need a plan of attack, study plan, whatever you want to call it. And you have to stick to the plan. If you're sticking to the plan and it's not working, you have to change it. If you're not getting the grades you want, then you have to take a look at yourself and what you're doing with your plan. And if you haven't either followed the plan or deviated from the plan, you need to get back on track ASAP. College chem, each semester is about 15 weeks. You start out slow and you think everything's good, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's all this information you need to know, not just for chem, but all your other classes. You need to have a plan and start it immediately. Here's the goal, of course. How do I process, understand, and retain the chemistry information as it's being thrown at me, lecture by lecture, week by week, lab by lab? Well, let's take a look. These are just a bullet list of things I think that you need. Get the textbook. And what I mean by that is, don't get the online textbook, or if you have the online textbook, that's fine, but get yourself a hard copy of the textbook that you are going to crack open. In the current edition, if you can't afford that, then get the next edition down, and you're going to see it's really, really cheap on places like eBay. You got to go to class. You got to go to lecture, and typically, because it's a science class, there's a lab portion also that you have to go to in order to pass the class. When you're in class and lecture, you're writing down the notes. You're paying attention as best you can. Then, when you get back home to your dorm, to your apartment, you need to go over your notes. And this is where the textbook really becomes crucial. When you have gaps in your notes, or you wrote down notes and you don't understand them, go back immediately to the part of the textbook where it's being discussed and go ahead and put that in your notes. In other words, you're boosting up your notes as you go. Make sure you do all the assignments plus. Now, I want to show you what I mean by the plus. What you're looking at right here is the College Chem book by Zumdahl. And I'm on Amazon, right? You can take a look inside of the cover. And I just scrolled. They give you chapter 1 to take a look at. And I just scrolled down, and I want you to pay attention here to the example. It says example 1.2. Embedded in the chapters, typically in a college chem book, and hopefully yours, are example problems that the author thought you need to go over. I call these the backbone of each chapter. These typically are not assigned to you by your professor. Your professor is going to assign you homework typically in the back of the book. The answers are in the back. Sometimes you got to use those answers, right, to kind of figure out what or how to actually solve the problem. But this goes above and beyond. This is you reviewing the chapter after you've taken the notes, and then on your own going through these example problems where you read the problem, you hide the solution, and then you go back and check your solution against the authors. This is going to come in real handy when you get to areas like stoichiometry, which is the math of chem that goes along with balanced equations, and certainly tons of different other parts of the course. So that's what I mean by the plus, is what are you going to do above and beyond what is expected of you in that lecture hall. And the first place you're going to go are these example problems within the chapter. Now, you're doing all this and you're still having some issues. You're not getting the grades you want. Certainly when you get tests back, you should go over them, right? And anything you get wrong, make sure that you work through those questions And when you need help, what you're going to do, of course, is you're going to use your textbook, help you answer things. Go to YouTube. There's some really good people on YouTube that go over specific chemistry topics. That's how I would use it if I was you. If you need to look at electron configurations, look up specifically those skills that you need to know. Work with a classmate or two. That always works. If you're going to go over your tests, maybe if there's somebody in class that's your lab partner or somebody that you sit next to, go, hey, you want to meet and let's go over this test together. And of course, depending on what school you're in, you might have a teacher assistant and or the professor. There's office hours. There's times when you can go and ask questions. When you go, this isn't high school anymore though, don't say, hey, I need to relearn this. No. You're going to go in with specific questions that you have to clear up where maybe you're making mistakes or you're confused. So this is the free stuff. This is stuff that's at your fingertips. Use it when you need it. Finally, if you need help, some of the things that aren't free, maybe you need a study guide, another book that you can refer to, and I'm going to give you a suggestion here, or get a tutor. Tutors can be very expensive. I've tutored high school kids, I've tutored college kids, AP kids. Maybe on campus they might be cheaper, but typically you're going to see for a chem tutor, it could be easily running you $100 an hour. If you can do it on your own, obviously it's cheaper, and I think you're going to get more out of it. And let me suggest you for less than $20, a study guide that might help. All right, so at Amazon again, I have the book here, the second edition, Chemistry, Concepts and Problems in purple. And I just noticed they finally updated it. The book I have, this second edition, was published, I believe, in 1996. This third edition now has been published in 2020, so it's much more recent. And I just looked chapter by chapter, and the new version has a chapter on organic chemistry. I think it's a good book. It says it's self-teaching. It's very hard to self-teach your, chemistry to yourself. But what it does, it simplifies for you some of the different, or not some, but a lot of the different chemistry concepts that you can go ahead and practice, feel confident, and then go back to your textbook for what you're learning in lecture. Sometimes you have to take a step back, do some easy stuff to then be able to ramp back up to the hard stuff. One final suggestion before I leave you, and that is with your notes and when you're studying. Boy, it can get overwhelming. I know that. I've been there, even though I took chemistry a long, long time ago. Break it up into sections, even within a chapter. Once you've gone over your notes and you know what you know, then focus your attention on what you're confused with or don't know. And then keep practicing. And when you're moving on to different chapters, make sure you go back and still understand what you've processed already. I always say this to all my students, whether they're taking a test in class or if you check out my other YouTube videos, always keep working hard. Good luck. If you have any comments or suggestions for me, you might need help on something, you like the video, anything else that I can help you with, please don't forget to comment below. I'll also put the link here for this book. I think it's worthwhile. Again, it's less than $20. Obviously, you can see both books get great reviews. Check it out. If you click in the description, then it goes to Amazon, and it would help me out as far as a little commission, and it doesn't change the price of the book. No matter what, again, keep working hard. Good luck.